Welcome, welcome. Super excited to welcome today Angela Colla, who's head of international business at Globo International. Angela, welcome to the Vitrina podcast. Super excited to have you and to have a conversation for the benefit of all of our listeners and all of our members.
Thank you, Atul. Thank you very much. Thanks for the introduction and for the invitation. It's a pleasure to be here.
Absolutely, and there is just so much curiosity right now, both about Brazil, LATAM, and Globo, that it's an absolute privilege and pleasure to actually listen to you, especially for all of our users and members. Again, we'll go through some of the questions that I've already received from some of our members, from some of my team members as well. So
Mhm.
looking forward to a very fun conversation. But right up front, Angela, just wanted to congratulate you on the award last week at Content Americas. It was a big award, and must have been a very proud moment for you and the team.
Yeah, it was very good. It was a good surprise. I mean, we expect a lot of this telenovela. We got the prize for the best telenovela on Rose d'Or Latino. Rose d'Or is a very famous recognition already worldwide, and for the first time this year, they did the Latino edition of Rose d'Or.
Awesome.
I was part of the selections. I was voting for this category actually,
Nice.
and at content last week, I also had the privilege to announce one of the another category. So I was very close to the organization, to the event, and they did a very good job. And we did a very good job too, because this telenovela was launched on Global Play 2022. It was the first streaming telenovela that was digital first. It was made for the streaming. We launched it in two batches at Global Play, and it was extremely
Mhm.
successful. It was the most watched telenovela on Global Play ever. After 1 year, it
Oh
went.
wow.
It was broadcasted at TV Globo in Brazil. Very a huge success on our linear free television channel in Brazil too. And we have a partnership for VIX in LATAM and US Hispanic for this telenovela.
Hmm.
So it is already a success, and we're very proud of it. And then get this recognition on an international event such as this one we had last year. We were very proud and very happy.
Fantastic, fantastic. I mean, it is a big honor, and again, looks like it's actually succeeded in every form of windowing that's
Yeah.
it's actually been played on. That is
Yes.
amazing.
And
That's
now we are
amazing.
distributing it worldwide. So now it's available for international sales in different parts of the world, except Latin America and US Hispanic.
Fantastic, fantastic. So we will flash it across to all of our members, especially the ones who actually are interested in licensing telenovelas as well as Brazilian content. Thanks for that heads up. But also wanted to understand, how was Content Americas last week? I know Globo had a big presence this year.
Mhm.
There were multiple teams, and looks like it was fairly successful from everything that I've been hearing so far. But I wanted to get your take and your perspective.
Yeah, to start the year, this first event in Miami is very important for our business
Okay.
in January, beginning of the year. So we are all fresh, and we have so much new and exciting things to tell the market. It's good to be around our clients and friends from, especially from the Latino market.
Right.
But there were so many Portuguese, Spanish players and some
Hmm.
European players too, but a lot of Americans, I mean, from all over the Americas. And it's very important for us to be there because it's when we launched. We had an upfront on the first day of the event. We had a
Ah,
lunch, and we did our upfront. The It was a full room full of people and clients and prospects and friends and people from our industry, and we're very happy to show the market everything that we were bringing this year, everything that's on our portfolio for the year. But not only that, we wanted to let the market know about our transformation, about our position, and about how much our challenges, how we're facing our challenges in Brazil. I mean, the industry, it's not easy
Right.
for anyone. I think I can easily say that we're facing tough moments and many transformations, and be part of that transformation. It's, I consider, a privilege, actually, because if we're not here to learn and to do things differently, and to get to every day is all about learning new stuff and about thinking new ways of doing business, new ways of doing content, new
Right.
ways of distributing content, and new ways of doing partnerships. So when we tell the market about the challenges we're facing in Brazil, and how we are dealing with it, is extremely important for us and for the market. I mean, Globo started as a newspaper back 60 years ago, and now we are a media tech company. We are a very big technology media company that uses technology as a driver for being closer to our consumer audience.
Right.
That means, so we have this huge free television channel in Brazil, and we produce a lot of content for that channel. But we also have our pay TV channels, many pay TV channels, and Global Play, our streaming platform.
Streaming
And
platform.
Global Play was born in the past as a catch up from the free television.
Ah,
But it's
interesting.
not only that anymore. Now, Global Play is really a competitor on the streaming game.
That's
And
it.
we compete directly with all the international big digital players, with the technology companies. We compete with Netflix, with Amazon Prime, with Disney Plus, Max,
Wow.
and all of them, Paramount Plus. They're all available in Brazil, and we are competing and sometimes partnering with them. It's what we were just talking before, how we are
Enemy.
frenemies. I say that we don't have any enemy in the
That's right.
market. We have frenemies.
That's
And
right.
we need to know when to compete, when we are competition, and when we can unite and get together and establish partnerships to get the best out of everyone's strengths, right? So
Exactly.
we showed the content Americas. We were there to show about how vast our portfolio is, because
Right.
when we go international with our catalog of contents, we are representing this huge group, media group in Brazil, that produces for different windows, for different audiences. So we have diverse content for all audiences, and we are trying to reinvent ourselves every day to also bring and think about new business models too. That means we're not only
Hmm.
selling our ready-mades, we're not selling only the finished
Right.
shows, but we also are talking to the market about new types of business models, such as the format, scripted and unscripted formats that we create, that are thought about the Brazilian audiences, but can be adapted to different cultures and to different markets, so
Hmm.
that they can be more suitable to the local audiences.
Right.
Not all the contents that we produce can travel the same way. Some of the novellas will
Well,
travel a lot,
right.
some will
So
travel less. Hmm.
right. So one of the fascinating aspects, Angela, whenever I've actually looked at the Globo Group, is just the scale of the operations, right? I'm told Globo sort of produces on an average about 35,000 hours of content every year, of which
Yeah,
about 7-8,000 is produced by Globo themselves, and the rest is actually in partnership with a host of broadcos and production companies and production houses.
yeah.
Is that accurate? Is that, how's that sort of stabilized in 2023 last year?
Yeah, we have our studios,
Uh-huh.
proprietary studios, global studios in Rio, and they are huge, and they have a huge capacity of production. But we also have partnerships with many independent producing companies in Brazil that produce a lot, especially to pay TV channels and to global play, not
Right.
exclusively. We produce a lot with for the streaming platform with global studios too, but we can do both, and it really
Right.
depends. It depends on what the content is, on who does the best type of series. Sometimes for shorter series, there's
Right.
some there are series that go very well, that have an excellent performance on global play, that
Wow.
are the police series, for example.
Hmm.
And there are the local companies that can do this very very well, and we're super happy with the result of their productions, so we do it with them.
And then
When
it's a mix. I'm guessing, Angela, this is actually a mix of scripted, unscripted movies, telenovelas,
Yeah,
documentaries. Is it like a sort of balanced portfolio, or is there a specific preference? Talk us a little bit about the content choices that Globo has to make at a group level of that
well,
massive production.
we have this vast diversity of clients,
Right.
subscribers, or people who watch our channels, or subscribers to our pay TV channels and
Right.
streaming platform. And talking about Brazilians, that's so much, because Brazil is very
Yeah.
big and it's
Yeah.
very different. The different regions are very
Yes.
different. We have a
Right.
free TV channel that
Right.
covers 99.9% of our territory, of the national territory.
Wow.
That means it's almost like the whole Europe, and it's
Right.
culturally it's very different too. So when we want
Right.
to have the Brazilians represented in our
Right.
content, because at the end people want to see themselves in content.
Right.
Content's about emotion, is about touching people's hearts, but it's also about how you see yourself on in that content too, especially telenovelas and drama series. uh, and to be able to do that, we need to have a very diverse
Diverse.
portfolio of content for all, from young. We produce animation, we produce many content for kids, young kids,
Hmm.
bigger kids, teenagers. We've been producing for our streaming platform some very very nice series for teenagers
Hmm.
and young adults. And then there's the older audiences, many sports. We do a lot of sports in Brazil too,
Right.
and we have documentaries about the sport celebrities, and we're focusing a lot on documentaries. We started producing a couple of years ago, and that, well, there's a big audience for that all over the world, but it's true crime. So we
Ah.
have
Yes.
some true crime series. I mean, you name it.
Yeah.
We've been
Fantastic.
only Global Play has produced 37 original shows last
Wow.
year.
Oh my God.
It's
That's
it's
amazing.
a lot. It's a
That's
lot.
that is amazing.
So
Wow.
there's a lot of work behind it and a
Right.
lot of partners. We do many different teams and different companies to be able to deliver all of that.
Got it.
And but the audience has been recognizing our content with prices
Right.
and with the performance of our shows in subscriptions or in advertising models.
Fascinating. And Angela, one aspect that obviously got I mean affected everybody last year was the Hollywood strikes. There was also a general slowdown.
Mhm.
Add to that the complexity of this whole switch that's happening between linear and digital. There's a fair amount of tussle there, and then
Yeah,
you've got streaming wars happening. So we're dealing with obviously lots of different pressure points on the industry. In the midst of that, you have a growth portfolio to sort of expand the global business globally, internationally. Would love to hear a little bit about the challenges, and then would love to double click on the international expansion that you're leading.
yeah. I think the market, I mentioned that a little bit in the beginning, but it's worth
That's
focusing
it.
some time on that. The market is transforming very fast. The habits,
Yeah,
consuming habits are transforming, are moving, and technology, all of that driven by very speed change in technology that impacts the businesses a lot, and it impacts
that's
a
right.
lot of all the older ways of producing content and distributing content and bringing content available to the audiences. That
That's
has
right.
changed so fast, and then regulations don't go the same as fast as
At
that.
speed.
It's not the
Right, right.
same speed.
That's right.
So sometimes I think it's very important that we stop and rethink about how things are being done and how we can do it in the way that we recognize everyone on the systems, because there's so much behind
That's
having. We
right.
all love seeing those extremely very high production cost series,
Yep.
amazing stories, huge production costs, but sometimes we don't stop, especially we're in this industry, but if you're not, you don't stop and think about how much is done before having
That's right.
that ready, and it's so much. So I think it's important to sometimes stop and discuss things and rethink about how things are being done.
That's right.
There's all the artificial intelligence behind that discussion, and that's very
That's
new
right.
for everyone,
That's right.
and very polemic, and it needs to be. It's the type of topics that really need to be discussed, and very well discussed and very well thought, so that we
And
go the right ways, right?
that's right. That's right. And I mean, all of that did flare up last year in Hollywood with the strikes that happened. I don't know if the strikes really had an effect on Brazil as a market. Um, how was that?
No, not much.
Okay.
Not much.
Okay.
We had our productions were just kept on going
37
normally.
originals. If Globo Play did 37 originals, clearly, there was no effect of the Hollywood strikes on
Yeah.
Brazil, at least. Looks like.
Yeah, no, there was not. There was not. We were really following all the discussions to
Right.
see where this is going, where the industry is going. It
Right.
always impacts in ways how we think about the future of the business.
Right.
I think that that is totally normal, but there's also a big transformation on. I think we see an industry getting to the top of it
Right.
already. And
Right.
that's something that we noticed a lot last year with all the streamers getting their maximum amount of subscribers and trying to and having all the merges between big companies
That's
and
right.
one buying the other, and people thinking about how many streamers the consumers can actually take, and how their lives can make it can be easier. So there's a big discussion besides all the only the strike. There was a big discussion about how to reorganize this, because there was the era of the streamers and
Yeah.
everyone was launching D2C platforms, but there's a cap. I mean,
That's
there's a
right.
moment that we also need to rethink our businesses. And then we saw all the big streaming companies that started to license their big shows to their competition. It's
That's
what
right.
I also mentioned before about the frenemies. And
Yep.
then we see that we can compete in some
Collaborate
aspects,
as well. Right.
but partner with others, partnerships for distribution, for getting bundles, or
Right.
partnerships for selling content to a competition player. So there was so many new moves and changes in the market that we still don't know how that's going to be this year.
Right. Got it.
We know that it's changing, and changes are still transformations, and changes are still going to continue for this year and probably for many other years. And that's a constant reality right now.
That's right.
But the business models need to adapt and adjust to the new realities where the markets are going.
That's right. That's right. Angela, one of the fascinating aspects when we look at our own Vitrina data, right, for the last 3 years, 4 years, is that we've actually seen the positive impact of streaming to the extent that it's actually brought certain languages into new markets and new territories, right? So we saw that with Spanish, we saw that with Korean,
Yeah,
we saw that with Turkish,
yeah.
and now we know that there are a couple of companies, including Globo, that are like really pushing certain of their own languages. So we see, um, uh, really Brazilian Portuguese sort of come in as one of the new languages that is sort of, entering into the whole licensing game globally. We see
Hmm.
that with even languages like French, Italian, and Indian. So
Hmm.
talk a little bit about that, because there is the licensing model. There is this new aspect of co-pros that you're actually doing cross border, and then there is a third aspect which is relating to the whole formats that you are sort of bringing out of Brazil into the rest of the world. Talk a little bit about that piece, and how those efforts are going.
Yeah, very interesting. I think that the streaming, the digital world, made all the borders thinner,
Disappear
right?
thinner.
There's
Yeah,
there it's almost like there's no borders anymore,
that's right.
and
That's right.
and content, and people love to watch good content. Good content can travel, and it should
Mhm.
travel, and
Yes.
people are more open to it when there's no limit. There was a limitation in the past with programming grids that
Yep.
were at the end maximum, they were 24/7, but there was a
Yes.
limit,
That's
and
right.
now it's almost like it's unlimited.
Yep.
Of course, that's the balance that I think the market needs to find, because then we all thought it was unlimited, and we all started producing in numbers that are just not feasible, and we need not feasible for the business, and we
That's
need
right.
to find the right balance, how much we're going to produce, how much we're going to acquire from different producers, how much we're going to partner to get the best out of all territories and all players. And we put ourselves in a position that we are Brazilians, we are a Brazilian company, and we're
Right.
very proud of being Brazilians.
That's
And
right.
we think the Brazilian content has a touch that it can travel a lot, and it should get out there to many audiences, and there's a potential. I'm not only talking about the global productions, I'm talking about Brazilian productions. Our market has grown so much, and there's so many excellent great content that I think it could be the next big hit. I hope it is, because I think there's a lot of potential out of Brazilian content. So it's not only about we need to produce the best content, and we need to get it out there. We need to find distribution. It's all about good content and the best distribution, and that combination can be very powerful. So that's why I say so much that I believe so much on the partnerships, because we need to be we are probably the
Fascinating.
best or the biggest producers in Brazil, but we're focused in our local domestic market, because it's a
Okay.
huge market, and we need to have a very deep focus on that. But if we find the best partners, we don't have a global distribution, we have a local distribution, but we have global content, we have local content, we have the best local content that can probably find audiences, global audiences, because what stories, Brazilian stories, could be international stories. What happens in Brazil could happen anywhere. We have our touch, we have our way, our DNA, our way of telling stories, because we are storytellers. But our stories could be told to audiences all over the world, and we really believe on that travelability of our content. But then there's also um, different business model that we can make our stories get out there the best way possible. And the best way possible is the way that fits the best with our clients or with our partners. If
Right.
it's not the ready-mades, maybe it could be the formats. And that's what we recently did with our most successful telenovela ever.
Hmm.
It's called Brazil Avenue, Avenida Brasil, in Spanish. That was a very successful telenovela from 2011, 2012. Well, we sold it internationally in 2012, so it was probably produced in 2011 in Brazil. Over 10 years already, and we still sell it a lot. We still sell that telenovela all over the world. It was very successful in so many different countries. We
Hmm.
sold it to more than 160 different countries. Now
Wow.
we thought it was time to give it a new touch, to give it a new opportunity, and to make a new version of that story. So we partner with our competition, the Turkish producers and distributors.
Hmm.
They could be considered our competition, but we have great relationship with them, and we thought a Turkish version of our telenovela could find new and fresh ways of traveling again.
Wow.
So we did. We're going probably this year. Ayapan, one of the biggest production companies in Turkey, is going to produce a local version of Brazil Avenue,
Wow.
and then they're going to sell it internationally. Mad TV represents them on the international sales. They're going to sell it internationally, and we believe that even in Brazil, in our own proprietary windows,
Hmm.
Global Play, pay TV channels, that telenovela can be very successful too. So at the end, we also get new and fresh content to our own platform, and everyone's happy, and the audience is happy, and the market is happy. So we believe in finding new ways
Hmm.
to get our stories travel more. And the other way you also mentioned about the co-productions,
That's right.
we need content, and content investing when there's a streaming platform, investing in technology, media and content. It's
Hmm.
almost like it's an everyday effort,
That's right.
but resources are limited. So the way we believe in the way that making great content and making more content
Hmm.
with the same resources, limited resources that we have, is partnering with different local players from different regions, and producing content together. There's a challenge. It's not easy, because it's not easy to produce a content, and
That's right.
having to fit different realities and different needs from different markets, it's even more challenging. But we are here to face our challenges, and to find ways to get there. So having co-producers, finding a new show, it's part of our challenge for this year, and we really want to have that. I mean, we probably need to have 20 conversations to get then find one
That's
project and invest on it. Co-production, it's not about volume, it's about the right partner, the right content,
right.
to make it a great show for two different audiences, or even more, two or three, and then distribute it internationally. But finding an international content that can be suitable to our audience and to different audiences in different markets. We're
Absolutely.
very, very happy with that, and happy with the challenge, and we hope we can get good deals and good shows to different platforms. Only last year we launched two or three co-pros in our platform.
Oh, wow.
Two, one of them was with Sony. It's called Real Connection. It's a great show that we produced in partnership with Sony, and it was launched on Global Play last year. And then
Hmm.
there was one that we produced with Portugal, with RTP and SPI from Portugal. It's called
Wow.
Codex. We launched those two during 2023, end of second semester of 2023,
Hmm.
and we've signed and announced a deal with Disney to
Nice.
produce films, future films that
Hmm.
will go to the cinemas first, and then after a short window, they will be available in both platforms, Disney
Nice.
Plus and Global Play. I mean, each deal can be different from the other, but there are ways of
Right.
finding the right balance that fulfills everyone's needs and get to excellent deals.
Fantastic. This is this is a great update, actually, especially for companies that and prodcos around the world that actually want to enter into Brazil. This could be a great way to partner.
Yeah.
And looks like you're open for both feature films as well as series, TV series.
Yes, we are.
Depending
We are.
on, okay,
We
fantastic,
look for this type of partnership for any genre, any type of show. I mean, we're open to discuss it and to evaluate projects and to show our projects to potential partners. So we are just open to have all of those discussions and find the right projects for everyone.
fantastic. This is my hunch is that this itself will actually attract a lot of folks to having conversations this year.
I hope so.
One aspect, Angela, would love to get your take on is which markets are you headed to next, and what's the key goal that you're sort of looking at in those markets? More format deals, more licensing deals, prodcos, all of the above.
All of the above. All of
All
the
of the
above.
above.
We have a big challenge, and we really need to reach different markets and different business models with all
Okay.
our vast portfolio of shows. We have recently. I wanted to highlight that because I mean the Latino market. It's obvious to us. Portugal is a
Yeah.
very important market for us. We have a partnership from years in Africa, especially French speaking and English speaking Africa, for licensing our shows, especially
Hmm.
telenovelas. Europe is a more challenging market for us, but we have our ways and we have our contacts. We are getting there. We are going to many events
Okay.
in Europe to strengthen our relationships and do more business. Next month, we're going to be at Berlinale, and we have one of our series original from Global Play was selected for the festival, and we are very proud of it and very happy with that. So, but I wanted to highlight that we recently did a partnership, distribution partnership with Tema from
Uh,
France, and they will distribute our catalog in Asia, and that means having a stronger presence in Asia
oh,
through a partnership. So, and they're super happy with it. They're very with high expectations on our catalog, and we hope the Asian market receives well our focus. We're getting some focus on that market for finished content, but also for formats. We believe that our adaptations from our stories to the Asian reality, to the Asian audiences, could be a goal for us, and it could be probably very fruitful. So, to give you some broad perspective on that.
fantastic. No, this is great. This is great. And again, Asia is the hot market right now. So
Yeah,
again, wishing you all the best for that deal as well, and all the expansions planned. Angela, from all of us at Vitrina and from all of our members, thank you so much for speaking with us today.
it was a
Great
pleasure.
perspectives, just in terms of all the buttons you're pushing, relating to the expansion that Globo is actually doing internationally.
Thank you.
Hoping for a great successful 2024.
Thank you, Atul, for all of us. It was a pleasure to be here. Thank you very much.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you.